Hi und willkommen wieder bei Sarah's Music. Musik ist so toll, weil es so viele verschiedene Richtungen gibt. Nur weil ich klassische Musikerin bin, heißt nicht, dass ich nur klassische Musik liebe. Und wenn ich in New York bin, versuche ich immer ins Konzert zu gehen von Wynton Marsalis und sein Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra. Aber heute haben wir es noch besser. Wir verbringen den ganzen Tag mit denen. Der 5. und 6. Stock des Time Warner Building, Columbus Circle, Ecke Central Park, gehören ganz dem Jazz. Einige der größten Jazzer überhaupt sind hier verewigt. Mitkonzipiert hat das Jazzzentrum Wynton Marsalis, einer der wohl bekanntesten Jazzmusiker der Welt. Er ist auch der Bandleader des Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra. Wynton, we've been having such a great time with your band today. Thank you for having us. Tell me about your band. What do they, you've got the best 15 jazz musicians in the world. How do they get into your band?
It's just like a tradition. The band, it started with members of Duke Ellington's surviving band and some members of Thad Jones, Mel Lewis's band and members of my septet. And we have very little turnover. So we just instituted audition policy actually last year. Before it was only I would just ask people in the section who they wanted to play with. And then somebody would come and play and they would work out or they wouldn't work out. There's so few musicians that know the history of music and can play the diversity of music that we play and improvise in those styles that there was not a lot to choose from. Now there are more. So you will audition people that'll be behind the screen, but you basically will know.
Behind
if somebody can play,
even.
you'll know who can play. It's so difficult to. It's difficult.
I love the feeling of the band on stage. Everybody's just, it's like family.
Yeah, we're very loose and relaxed. But our trumpet section, we've been together for 20-something years, and it's you know, it's a certain amount of practice and it's a certain level of seriousness. We all know many of us have parents that were musicians. 2 of us in the band have father and mother jazz musicians. The special thing about this band is really nobody is a drag. Usually, you know, our bands, it's always some kind of personality thing or something. We actually have observed, I think, over the last 6 or 7 years, to each other at the end of tours, we say, man, this is the most functional band we've ever been in. And we have a lot of really good personality, good people. For me, it's a blessing for me in this age to be able to work with them and the level of seriousness that they bring to stuff.
Rhythm section, Jazz at Lincoln Center Band, you guys are the heart and soul of the band. You seem to communicate telepathically on stage. How do you do it?
So vocabulary. So if you know certain words and certain phrases that you can all communicate in that same vernacular. So everyone leads. There's no one leader, but we're all listening very intently.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want as long as it's within the vocabulary that Ali's talking about.
If I play something, he's going to respond. The same with Carlos. It's a trust thing.
the trumpets sit in the back in your band?
Because the instrument is so noble, it has to be, you don't want the sun to be on top of earth. It's got to be a distance. That's why.
Okay.
You don't want things to burn up.
What would happen if I asked Vince that same question in the trombone section?
They're jealous.
They're jealous. Okay.
Yeah, I don't expect anything but hate from trombones, saxophones. There's a lot of hate comes out of them.
Having just said that your whole band are like brothers.
We love each other, but it's just certain things. Hierarchy is always, people have a problem with it.
That's why you guys are at the top.
The trumpet is at the top of the food chain.
Sure. Well, you say as your mission that jazz is a metaphor for democracy, and then it's so free that you get everyone feeling that feeling, being able to do what they want.
It's free, but that freedom is undergirded by very strict principles. There's strict responsibilities, like in a democracy, the need for education, the need for integrity, and the need to understand the Constitution and how it works, something that in many democracies you get lazy in it. And in jazz, is to be able to swing and play in time, to know how to address the form harmonically, and a certain level of instrumental virtuosity and knowledge of how to create vocal sounds and things that are part of our music. The tendency is to take that freedom and try to get away from those fundamentals, as we try to do with our democracy. It's always been interesting to me that the national constitution is less pages than any state constitution. So it's very strict principles. And it can be amended, but there's certain fundamentals that have to be in place for this type of system to work. And jazz is that way also.
Well, I think you guys do an amazing job. Thank you for letting us spend the day with you all.
Thank you. You know what, we love you, and for collegial feeling, and I'm honored to talk with you. I think it's great what you're doing, and thank you for choosing us and coming here.
Thank you, Winton. Thank you.
And I ain't got nothing but the Lincoln Center blues. Yes, it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I ain't got nothing but the blues. Well, don't you know it's you, baby? Well, it's you I hate to lose. That ain't nothing but the blues. Oh, yeah.
What's the best thing about being in this band?
Well, you're playing with 14 other musicians.
And amazing musicians. The
Exactly.
best.
You know, our first obligation and dedication is to jazz education, jazz preservation, and the promotion of it on every possible level. And then it has allowed us to travel around the world, just as the Duke Ellington Orchestra did, and bring those same experiences back and employ them inside of our music, both from a performance and a compositional point of view.
So, wir sind jetzt aus dem Probenraum raus und sind jetzt im Roll Hall, wo das Konzert heute Abend stattfindet. Das war's von Sarah's Music für heute. Der Soundcheck geht gerade zu Ende und wir freuen uns riesig auf das Konzert. Bis zum nächsten Mal und jetzt, we're gonna take the A-Train. the end of every program, I invite whoever I've interviewed to try the horn challenge. Can I ask you to have a go?
One of the worst horn players in the world, but yeah, let me just get my bearing on.
Isn't it pretty? Okay.
Let me just find C.
All right.